Sergeant is in big trouble with the law tonight after getting accused of raping a 14-year-old boy.
I'm going to hear from the Commonwealth and find out what the situation is.
Paul Downey in court hiding his face from cameras. A member of the Boston PD for more than 3 decades, the 58-year-old sergeant is accused of paying a 14-year-old boy for sex.
Commonwealth is moving for arraignment. The clerk is going to read you the charges.
The charges include 4 counts of aggravated rape of a child, 2 counts of engaging in sexual conduct with a child under 18 for a fee, and 2 counts of enticing a child under the age of 18 to engage in commercial sexual activity.
Do you have an attorney?
The Suffolk County DA says Downey met the youngster on the dating app Grindr and later communicated with him on Snapchat. Investigators say the suspect and the victim were together in March and May. They say the 14-year-old performed oral sex on Downey or was raped by the officer, who allegedly paid the teen between $30 and $80.
Mr. Downey, I do not have an attorney to appoint to you, sir.
The DA says the sergeant was tracked through his Snapchat and his car was located in a police parking lot. The police commissioner said in a statement, "These charges are obviously very troubling and our thoughts are with any of the alleged victims," adding that he trusts the investigation and Sergeant Downey is now on administrative leave.
All right. Good morning, Attorney Campbell. Attorney Diavolo. Good morning, Mr. Downey.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Attorney Campbell. He was arraigned yesterday. However, I wanted to give you the opportunity if you wanted the reading or not.
I would waive the formal reading.
All right.
Ask the plea of not guilty.
Thank you. All right. Attorney Diavolo.
Yes, Your Honor. So the Commonwealth would be requesting a $250,000 cash bail, as well as the Commonwealth's requested pretrial conditions of release, which was filed yesterday. Those include 9 conditions of release, as well as an attached map for an exclusion zone with a GPS. The Commonwealth believes that a $250,000 cash bail is necessary here to ensure the defendant's return to court. I would point out first the defendant's resources. I believe through the public records database, he made up close to $280,000 last year. The other thing I would like to point out to Your Honor is he is facing 4 charges right now that contain 10-year mandatory minimum state prison sentences. Pointing to the facts of the case as well, I would also point out to the strengths of the Commonwealth's case. So here, Mr. Downey is charged with an aggravated rape of a child. It's the same child both on March 26th and on May 11th. Mr. Downey is alleged to have penetrated the anus of the child utilizing his finger on the first offense, and then utilizing his penis also on the first offense. And then on the second offense, which was the May 11th offense, he's alleged to have had the child perform oral sex on him and then penetrated the child's anus again with his penis. The Commonwealth's evidence to lead to the identification of Mr. Downey started with a forensic interview of that child. Through that forensic interview, the Commonwealth was able to collect screenshots from Snapchat for the communications that the Commonwealth alleges was Mr. Downey, where they are negotiating a price. The child says to the individual who's asking for the price of $50 again, which is in reference to the March 26th incident. The child essentially says that's too low. I'm 14. You know I'm young, and you're asking me to commit a crime. And the defendant responds with, "How about 80?" The process of the identification, as well as the juvenile, also provided us with a partial plate of the vehicle, a description of the suspect, and a description of the vehicle that was utilized. We also had text message communications with the juvenile's friend, who he was having a sleepover with that night, that provided us a very detailed window of when he was picked up by the defendant and when he was dropped off by the defendant. Utilizing that information, we were able to collect video surveillance from the South Bay Mall off an apartment building that's facing a parking lot area that was described by that juvenile. A black Chrysler 300 is observed in the video, lining up with the drive time of when the text message from the juvenile was sent to his friend saying he's here. It was approximately a 1-minute drive, and the vehicle utilized the path that Google Maps recommends. The vehicle remains parked for a period of 10 minutes. At that point is when the Commonwealth is alleging the rape of the child occurred. And the vehicle left at approximately 1:04 a.m. from that South Bay Plaza Mall, driving along a different roadway than it approached, which again follows the path of travel from Google Maps. And Google Maps refers to about a 2-minute drive time, and the child reached out to his friend at approximately 1:07 a.m., indicating that he was dropped off. We were able to issue subpoenas to Snapchat for the username from the Snapchat conversations. With that username and that information that we received from Snapchat themselves, we were able to get IP logs. Those IP logs provided the defendants an IP address that was found to be associated with the defendant through further subpoenas with Comcast. There were also IP logs from Snapchat that show a static IP address from the city of Boston. Further into the investigation, once we learned the defendant's identity from that, we did a cursory look of the address of the defendant's house, and in front of his house, parked perpendicular to the house, is a Chrysler 300 vehicle that's black and has black tinted windows, which matches the description of the child. We initially did a partial plate query with no results. Once we learned that Mr. Downey was a member of the Boston Police Department and actively working at Boston Police Headquarters, the Massachusetts State Police went and did a canvass of the area of the different parking areas for Boston Police HQ, found a vehicle matching the description that was missing the first digit and was 1 digit off on the plate from what the juvenile provided. That license plate came back again to Mr. Paul Downey with the same address that was used from the records that were received from Comcast. The same phone number that was on Snapchat was also associated with Comcast, and the phone that was recovered off from Mr. Downey also had that same phone number, the phone being what was recovered at the time of arrest. Lastly, as the last step, we did a photo array with the juvenile in question on Friday, and the juvenile initially made a positive ID with a 90% certainty of that identity. The positive ID was a licensed RMV photo of Paul Downey. So with the evidence that's pushed against Mr. Downey, understanding he has no record, he is facing severe penalties with 4 different counts that contain 10-year mandatory minimum sentences. The evidence that we have and the strengths of the Commonwealth's case, as well as his financial resources, the Commonwealth does suggest to this court that a $250,000 cash bail is necessary to ensure his return to court. And relating to the pretrial conditions of release, the Commonwealth would suggest those conditions of release are necessary to ensure the safety of the victim and any potential future victims.
You said you passed those up already?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, do you have those? Madam Clerk? Do you have those conditions of release? Have you had a chance to look at the proposed conditions?
And for the record, there is no objection to the proposed conditions of release that the Commonwealth has requested.
Okay. All right, I don't have those, Mr. Diavolo. Can you tell me?
I have extra copies, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I have them, Mr. Diavolo. All right, so, okay, all right. Anything else, Mr. Diavolo?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Attorney Campbell.
Thank you, Your Honor. Recognizing the severity of the allegations that are before the court today, and recognizing the Commonwealth's request, the primary purpose of bail is to ensure Mr. Downey's reappearance in court. And he has no record, there's no indication that he otherwise would not come to court. $250 is far outside of the realm of what he can post. What I would ask Your Honor to do is impose no more than a $40,000 cash bail, as that is the upper limit of what his family could post. I think with respect to Mr. Downey and his family, he does have some family in the audience today. He does live with his 25-year-old child full-time. He is a high school graduate. He's a military veteran of the Marine Corps. Obviously, as Your Honor knows, he was a member of the Boston Police for 30 plus years, obviously attended the academy as a result of that. He's been in Boston his entire life, has several cousins and other family members here. He is not a risk of flight. He has been, and all accounts suggest that he has been nothing but compliant and cordial with not only his arrest, but also today as he has been here. With respect to, obviously, the allegations are serious. We are not making a probable cause objection at this time, but I would ask Your Honor to impose no more than a $40,000 cash bail, and as I stated, no objection to the proposed conditions of release that the Commonwealth is asking for.
All right, thank you, Attorney Campbell. And are you entering your appearance for bail purposes only?
For bail purposes only, please, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you both. I do find that the serious nature of the charges that Mr. Downey faces, as well as the potential penalties on all of these, on the multiple counts, and his financial resources do pose a risk of flight. So the bill will be set in the amount of $250,000 cash, and the Commonwealth's requested conditions will be imposed. What date for probable cause, Attorney Campbell? I'm understanding you won't be appearing. If you could just pick a date.
Your Honor, if I could request July 29th, please.
July 29th.
Thank you.
All right, and do you know if Mr. Downey's family has had a chance to reach out to potential counsel?
In my conversations with the Commonwealth, it does appear that there is one attorney that they have spoken with. I intend to reach out to them, but I otherwise have no confirmation.
Okay, all right, thank you.
In Your Honor, the Commonwealth also yesterday filed motion to impound or redact confidential information and motion to restrict distribution of electronic audio and visual recordings. I'd ask that those be allowed without prejudice. Main basis, if he doesn't retain counsel between now and the probable cause date, I'd be turning over a lot of discovery, so I would ask that those be in place.
Cal, it's a different one. It's different from this one.
Your Honor, to that end, I would just ask that it be without prejudice or no action taken on those motions until his attorney is appointed and retained.
Okay. And this is for the distribution of electronic and audio-visual recordings.
That, and then there's also a motion to impound or redact confidential information.
Okay, all right. There's one more.
I think.
That's without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, that's everything I have in here.
I have another copy.
Thank you, Mr. Diallo.
Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Downey, you're being held on $250,000 cash bail. Commonwealth's motion for the pretrial conditions of release has been allowed. Matter's been continued now to July 29th. That's going to be for probable cause. Mr. Downey, be aware if by chance you make the bail, if you get rearrested again on any other criminal offense, you could be held without bail for up to 90 days. July 29th.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.